Hello and welcome. I have Utkarsh Mathur with me. Congratulations, Utkarsh. You qualified your NET exam twice in 2018 December and 2019 January in HR and labor welfare. So, how are you feeling about qualifying this tough exam and that too twice?
Obviously, that's a very nice feeling, cracking it in first time and not just once and twice. Yeah, I missed JRF by zero point 0.5 marks in one attempt and 1 marks in another attempt. Couldn't qualify for JRF. But yeah, it was a definitely overwhelming feeling qualifying it 2 times. And I gave it for ONGC both the times. Yeah.
So, tell us more about yourself. Where were you born and where did you pursue your education from?
Okay, thanks for the question. I am from Jaipur. That's where I am born and brought up. My education is completed there only. And thereafter, I started after my PG MBA from ICFI. After that, I started preparing for competitive exam, and then I qualified in IBPS and joined Central Bank of India as HR officer back in 2015. So from 2015 till now, I'm working there only. From 2018 onwards, I started preparing for other exam also for obviously growth purpose. And then I I just came across to the human parameters, and it was a real helpful material. I can assure you. I'm saying it not because someone is taking my interview from human parameters. I'm taking it from bottom of my heart because I'm a job goer and I work in Mumbai that too. So it's in spite of being a government job, it's a 13-hour job because it's in Mumbai. Because 8 to 8 job it is. And so I got the time to prepare only during my commuting hours, during weekends, that too on Sundays. So I am saying it genuinely that human parameters material, the concise material, it helped me a lot cracking it first time. So that's how my journey for cracking the NET. And both time I used just the same material.
So you gave the exam to get into PSU. So can you throw some light on that? What scope it has? And some people think NET is only for teaching. So if you can enlighten and share your knowledge regarding the other important things that we can achieve by giving the NET exam.
Sure. See, HR is just as a field now. In any kind of organization, being private, public, HR means they will have to take MBA HR only. If it's finance, they have the preference like MBA finance from Premier Institute or Chartered Accountants. They have the option, but for HR, they have just one option, that is MBA HR. They have to take that because that is only available, or labor law degree. That's the thing. So opportunities are quite good in PSU especially, and coming up nowadays. For example, after ONGC, Coal India, Vizag, and last year RBI also came up with the HR officer job. So opportunities are really good, If this lockdown couldn't happen and this corona, I think RBI would again come up. That's what we heard about. And for this HR job, I'm working Central Bank of India. After getting into my bank, another batch comes in HR, same through IBPS. So opportunities are really good in PSUs. It's not just lecturer job, because as I said, if anyone has to take HR, they have to go for MBA HR. And all the organizations are taking up the same pattern of taking through the NET, UGC NET. So that's, UGC NET opens up quite a good opportunities for all the public sector HR jobs. That's my, learning in past 3-4 years.
That's amazing. I'm sure people are not aware that so many opportunities are there for giving the NET exam. So you mentioned that you were working already while you were preparing for the exam. So how does this work and study balance happens, and how many hours could you dedicate every day, and for how many months you had to prepare to qualify the exam?
Say during my first attempt, I got hardly, some around 3 months. With the job, I'm telling you. In 3 months, I've prepared whatever I got all the time. For example, 1 hour in the, commuting through the locals, and during Sundays, obviously giving some more time. Sometime a little bit hour in morning, sometime in night, and then obviously in the weekends. That's so that all time you got it for the preparing. And in 3-4 months, I go through the material which I got from the human parameters, especially the question papers. In fact, in my first attempt, 90% question came from the papers only. But my focus was in material completing, then paper first. If I go through that paper one, I could, come in the top 10 ranks. But I couldn't complete the papers completely. That 15 papers, I think they got something. I could complete only 7, 8, and that too I couldn't revise because I obviously got the little time. So that was my first attempt experience. And in second attempt, it was, my first attempt, it was quite easy, I could say, or I can say it came from that material I read. Second time, it was more about analytical aspect. But that means if you are aware about the concepts, then you can got it through. So both the times, my schedule or routine, you can say, were the same hour I got. Prepare both the times. So yeah, I cracked both the times through this routine only.
So you just mentioned that paper 1 is also very, very important, and usually people tend to ignore it, thinking that it's aptitude and we don't need
Definitely.
to.
So, definitely.
Can you tell us more about the importance of focusing on paper 1 in even a subject like HR and labor welfare, because it's the scoring one, if I think.
It is scoring one, depends on the paper also, because in what section sometimes they give more, focus to some particular section which you might have ignored. So yeah, but I can say the importance of paper 1, like in the saying that if you want JRF, you have to well verse in paper 1. Paper 2 well verse you can easily crack, or you can go through the net. But if you want JRF, you have to be good in paper 1. There is no other source. If you are thinking that I'm good in my core subject, you can clear NAT, but you can't get JRF. So that's, in my opinion, the importance of paper 1 is if you want JRF.
Makes total sense. And coming to paper 2, HR is a vast subject and there's so many laws to remember. So what tips can you give to students who are going to sit for this exam in the future? What can they do to remember so many facts about HR and labor welfare?
Just one tip, get anyhow the Human Patterns Labor Welfare of that book. That is, if you are not even buying the Human Patterns material, just grab it from anywhere your source. That labor welfare book is just awesome, provided it should be updated and latest one. That is, in that 120 pages, they have compiled, concise all that subjects, all those laws, and it was really helpful. And that I did in first attempt. In second attempt, I also go through the BEAR Act, that one book, but I couldn't complete it. Obviously, to get more through, because my next target is UPSC ALC, Assistant Labour Commissioner. And for that, obviously, you have to go through the BEAR Act, because in the interview, they grill you in the interview. So I started preparing from BEAR Act book, but it was, a little bit bookish and very boring. But in the end, when I completed one act, I find it that all the conclusion of that act is there in that book also, in that material also. But yeah, for the higher exam like UPSC ALC, you have to go through the BEAR Act. But UGC NET, that labor welfare book, that was my only source.
So in general, before concluding, if you had to give one advice to students who are going to sit for this exam, what would that advice be?
My one advice would be for paper 2, especially HR. I don't know about management, because Human Patterns provide about management also. I don't know about that. But from HR at least, they have really good material, especially that question bank which they provide. Just go through it. And for UGC NET, that paper 2, you will obviously clear it. No doubt about that. Coming to the JRF, focus on paper. Focus on your, your part, because the Human Patterns provide the material, but it is not up to that mark, or what I can say. You have to prepare for own, because paper 1 is combination of many things, and it depends on your practice
and your timings and
practice timing, because time you have very less. You know all the questions of paper 1, but time is very less. You have to practice and practice. So paper 2 material is good, but paper 1 you have to be at your own.
Thank you so much for those tips. All of the tips were very practical and useful, and I'm sure they will help someone who's going to sit for this exam and has plans to join PSUs. Thank you so much for taking out time, and we wish you all the best for your future, for your JRF attempt in the coming.
It was my pleasure and honor having you and sharing my experience. Thanks a lot.